Hi, everyone. So the communication and ADLS task I chose was washing dishes. So let's dive in. These are the steps for washing dishes. Step 1. Using a paper towel, scrape dishes to remove leftover food. Step 2. Place items into the sink from biggest to smallest. Step 3. Add a few drops of concentrated dish soap directly onto the sponge. Squeeze it a few times to disperse the soap throughout the sponge and to create suds. Step 4. Scrub the dishes with soap. Step 5. Rinse suds and residue with clean hot water. Step 6. Dry by placing dishes on drying rack. So, step 1 requires executive function, as the client must initiate the task of washing dishes, as well as planning and making sure the client has all the supplies needed to wash dishes, such as a sponge, dish soap, paper towel, etc. Step 2 requires visual spatial skills, as they are needed to organize dishes from biggest to smallest. Now, organizing dishes isn't necessarily needed, but it is helpful, and the visual spatial skills are needed regardless of whether they are being asked to organize dishes. They will have to acknowledge how big a dish is or how small a dish is. So they will be using those visual spatial skills. Step 3 requires declarative memory, as the client will need semantic knowledge that a sponge is used for cleaning and good at absorbing water. The client will need episodic knowledge to recall past experiences of washing dishes. Steps 4 through 6 require sustained attention, or the ability to maintain attention during continuous and repetitive activities. Steps 4 through 6 also requires non-declarative memory, as the client will need the motor skills or procedural memory to recall how to wash dishes. So these are the compensatory aids I chose. On the left, you see a visual cue with outlining the steps with the corresponding pictures. And you also see a memory book on the top right. These pictures and visual cues not only help the patient find what they are looking for, but also help them participate in meaningful activities more independently, such as washing dishes. What is most important is to have a good understanding of what their level of cognition is. This gives information needed to determine what type of visual cue is best. For example, picture or words, or picture and words together, etc. And the last compensatory aid on the um, bottom right is talking to yourself or self talk. And this rehearsal creates repetition in um, what they have to do and rehearsing the steps of washing dishes. So, some of the evidence based practice that was behind why I chose these compensatory aids was because external visual supports, such as graphic written memory aids in the form of sentences, words, phrases, and pictures, have been documented to compensate for the gradual loss of linguistic and cognitive skills in dementia. Findings indicated that visual aids improved the decision making capacity of individuals with dementia. Using external memory aids have also helped older adults with dementia find their rooms. Results show that a combination of a portrait-type photograph of the participant as a young adult and a sign stating the resident's name increased room finding by over 50% with all three participants. Um, Clinical observations have indicated that pictures enhance memory in patients with Alzheimer's and mild cognitive impairment. Communicating with oneself by talking aloud can keep their attention focused and memory alert. Memory aids such as memory books, memory wallets, planners, memo boards, and reminder cards help to reduce the confusion, anxiety, and frustration often experienced by people with dementia. Using words and pictures, the aids serve as conversation prompts, answers to common questions, and reminders for daily living. And I was going to choose an iPad, but there's more work to be done in generating evidence that shows that electronic memory aids, such as iPads, helped people with dementia. So that is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. And yes, hopefully you learned something about analyzing and breaking down the steps of washing dishes. Thank you.